Raiders. The stadium itself might be a bit newer, but it's a rivalry that still burns hot. And here we go, the Battle of the Bay from Santa Clara. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And no, incomplete. Boy, they took a shot there on the first play, trying to start it out with a bang, but it's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play that time for the Raiders. 52 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Carr now on 1st down. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Carr. Man open left side is Brown. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. This is 1st and goal from about the 8. To throw his Carr. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. DeAndre Washington, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 21. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
This is Breida. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. First carry now for the former Viking. This is Jerick McKinnon. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
On play action, now Garoppolo on the move to his left. Now he'll turn and throw deep back, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On second down, here's Carr. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. D. Ford. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down.
Down, 180. 24.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And he can't get away. Carr is going to go down, and that is a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, That does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And that one good for 16 yards and a first.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
On second down, here's Garoppolo. He targets Jordan Matthews, and it's caught. And he's taken down inside the 30. First time that they called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football, and they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tahir Whitehead. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Get down, get down. You're wide, Eddie. Later, 8. 7:34.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. So that'll back them up 5. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. After the penalty, it's Crowell. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Wide open receiver complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A good pickup there at 22.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Get set. You're wide, Eddie.
on the toss play. This is Washington. Takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Crowell. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of 1, and just like that, it's third down. Shotgun now for Carr. He's going to rifle one deep, and that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And a big 32-yard play on third. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Carr now on 1st down. Going for the deep ball. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field. And really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 23 yards on the play. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Here's Carr. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. So 3rd and goal, and the 49er faithful making some noise for their defense. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back here right after this. So 3rd and goal, and the 49er faithful making some noise for their defense. Carr now to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They'll start on the ground with Breida, and he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last two drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Garoppolo throwing on second. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
13.
Garoppolo on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Melvin Ingram in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Go ahead.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Just 11 seconds to go in the half as they have it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Oh, that was dangerous. Throw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down. They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10.
Down. 180. 29. 29.
Carr will try it again on 2nd down. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On the toss, it's McKinnon. And now spinning away, finding room inside the 40. Jarek McKinnon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Niners are able to cash in for 6. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
So that effort gives him a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage, at least give your team a fighting chance.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. It's hauled in by Lee Smith. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
Get set. 180. Go, go. Get set, get set. White.
Throwing on 1st down is Carr. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And Brown's got it for an Oakland touchdown. Antonio Brown with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 14-10. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. Gets this one left side to Pettis. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Coleman. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
13.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And they were good last time out with a touchdown drive. This go-around, it's not going to be very easy starting from inside their own 5.
But they shouldn't be daunted by it. You work on this the entire offseason. You work on it in practice. It's called coming out session. Start the ball inside the 5, start on the 5, on the 10. They should be ready to go.
And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And now we're going to get a delay of game. And that's going to back him up halfway. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
In his own end zone, it's Carr. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches.
Get down. 808. 29.
Here's Carr to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Take it at the 37. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now, what you're looking for.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes it a 21-10 game.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10, just shy of the 30.
21. 13.
Now Garoppolo to try again after the pick six. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
So I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick six on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Here we go.
Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's the first catch of the game for Goodwin. It's a 1st down. Garoppolo 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
21. Here we go.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Go ahead.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. And that is incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you can attempt to play the field position game.
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 11. They go with Washington to begin the drive. And some room to work. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. DeAndre Washington, 89 yards. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
This will be fielded at the 8. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Left side, caught by Matthews. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Garoppolo looks to throw. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
13.
On 1st down, Garoppolo. And this is hauled in by Matthews. A nice move he had, but can't break away. And he's brought down just inside the 30. A gain of 6 there on 1st. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Garoppolo again. That's going to be caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And, Charles, this infraction's going to be against the offense. False start.
Sometimes you have to get up to the line of scrimmage, make sure your team is set before you begin your cadence.
Boy, they had it at the 1. The false start moves it to the 6 now for 1st and goal. They'll toss it to Coleman. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
He'll get it up the middle. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
It's Coleman here. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Tevin Coleman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the 49ers get a score closer. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. Gould able to tack on the extra point. And the lead is down to 11 at 28-17. Gould now out to kick it away. Williams now on the return. And a good return up past the 30, but was it aided by an illegal block or a hold? Let's see. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here back to the 15. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
OP.
On play action, it's Carr. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their 38. So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Play action, Garoppolo. And Matthews has it right side. With that catch, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A gain of 32 that time. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Garoppolo on 1st down. A dump down to McKinnon. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve. And that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Tahir Whitehead. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Now a toss right to Crowell, and he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They'll run it again with Crowell. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Watch him now, Barney!
Now a handoff to Crowell. Gets by him, and now a little daylight. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! Hurry up, here we go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
A first throw for the backup Peterman. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... And intercepted! Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Jason Barrett. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Jordan Matthews, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. To throw, it's Garoppolo. He's got it to Matthews, complete. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. First down now, but that clock rolling.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Or is the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
Here's Peterman to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Trying to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards. First down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Now a toss running left. This is Crowell. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. And the 49ers going to take another timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. The Raiders on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Peterman. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught inside the 35. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. Well, last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Raiders, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week where they take on the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Niners, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.